Students, let us discuss the topic regionalism in India. As far as democracy is concerned, particularly Indian democracy is concerned, there are many challenges like corruption, illiteracy, inequality, communalism, regionalism, linguism, casteism, so on and so forth. Regionalism is one of them, an important challenge to Indian democracy. India is a vast country inhabited by the people of different races, different languages, different religions, castes and subcastes. Even geographically also, it is of continental size. Hence, to preserve their cultural identity and protect their economic interest, they want to prevent others from settling down there. All such things gave birth to regionalism, which appears in various forms. Now, then naturally, question arises: what is regionalism? Yes, the term denotes regionalism is associated with region. It means a part of a nation state marked by homogeneity in respect of language, culture, community and other interests. It is a psychological phenomenon. It also means the love for one's area of living or particular region to which he belongs. When such feelings, such a psychological phenomenon extends to a greater level, extreme level, then naturally it is considered as regionalism. Coming to causes and different forms of regionalism, there are many causes and different forms of regionalism. Altogether, let us discuss the causes and different forms of regionalism. The first and foremost is that linguistic regionalism. One of the most important forms of regionalism is linguism. Language has remained a formidable basis of regionalism. The policy of linguistic reorganization of states has been the main responsible for the growth of linguistic regionalism. This has become a prominent factor in making the regional language as the official language of each state. Actually, linguism is a challenge to Indian democracy, and linguism is converted into regionalism. And second form or second reason even is that demand for creation of new states. Originally, there were only 16 states in India. Now there are many states. Though the process of linguistic reorganization continued till 1972, even thereafter there have been a demand for a reorganization of states, both on linguistic and non-linguistic considerations. Even there have been interstate boundary disputes and interstate water disputes. That many parts of India, they are demanding for separate state on the basis of economic interest or on the basis of language or or on the basis of backwardness, whatever it may be, many parts of many parts of India, they are demanding for separate statehood. And the third form and cause for regionalism is that demand for full statehood. That means even though there are many states, there are many union territories. They are demanding for full statehood. This is another form of regionalism. Many union territories are demanding for full statehood. Some of the union territories are made state already. For example, Goa. Goa was earlier a union territory, but now Goa is a state, full-fledged state. Still now, there are many union territories. They are also demanding for full statehood. This is another kind of regionalism that we can find. And fourth one is demand for state autonomy. Even though India is a federal country and powers are divided between center and state by the constitution, still states are demanding for full state autonomy. States are not 100% independent. There is a central interference in every field. India is not like American federal system. That's why it is considered as quasi-federal. It is considered as a quasi-federal by K.C. Veal. There are many regional parties like DMK, AIDMK, Akali Dal and other regional parties. They are demanding full state autonomy. CPM, Telugu Desam are also demanding more powers for the states. This is also a form of regionalism, this is another cause for regionalism, that demand for state autonomy, independence to the states. When the same party is ruling at the central level and the state level, such things do not arise. But regional parties are dominant in a particular state. Naturally, these regional parties demand more autonomy. Coming to next point, sons of soil theory. This is also another cause for regionalism in India. Sons of soil theory is advocated by every state. The sons of soil theory are spreading in every state. What does it mean? That employment for the local people and local language should be given importance. All such things are considered as sons of soil theory. Mannina Makkalu Siddhanta. So that when there is unemployment in every state, they are demanding such theories like sons of soil theory. Sons of soil theory is also another form of regionalism, or this is one of the causes of regionalism. And next point that we have to discuss is that separatist movement. As I have told you already, India is a vast country. Quite natural, there are separatist movements. These separatist movement in some regions is an extreme forms of regionalism. they want to separate from a particular state. Sometimes some regions want to separate from Indian Union, like Tamil Nadu earlier. Hyderabad, Karnataka. People, they want to separate from Karnataka state. They want creation of a new state. Such separatist movement is also another form of regionalism or another form of that extreme regionalism. Extreme regionalism. That coming to next point, linguistic, militant organizations. There are many militant organizations. Actually, their activities are anti-nation activities. These militant regionalism is another form of regionalism that we can find in India. And another form is that regionalism is not restricted to only India. It's a worldwide phenomenon. In every country, the feeling of regionalism is developed. Regionalism is not a particular feature of Indian democracy, but it is a worldwide phenomenon. Almost in every state, every country, there are regional entities. This is another form of regionalism. And coming to next point, regional diversity. Regionalism is a product of regional diversity. There are more than 24 well-defined homogeneous linguistic regions. Distinct culture, historical traditions are very sensitive things which results in the cultural identity. That of course there is a separate theory that is called as theory of identity. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸ್ಮಿತೆಯ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನು ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ದಿ ಲಿಂಗ್ವಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಗೇವ್ ರೈಸ್ ಟು ಲಿಂಗ್ವಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ರೀಜನಲಿಸಮ್ and the movement for linguistic states. That regional diversity is also another form of regionalism. It's quite natural. India is a vast country in which many religions, many castes, many languages. Under such circumstances, because of regional diversity, there is a feeling of separate identity. This is another thing as far as regionalism is concerned. Coming to next point, religious sentimentalism. As I have told you already, India is a country of many religions. India is not a religious country. There is no official religion at all. India is neither Hindu country, nor Muslim country, nor Christian country, but secular country. The religious sentimentalism gives rise to regionalism and even give birth to movement for the division of the country into two. India and Pakistan, two countries are created on the basis of religion. Muhammad Ali Jinnah played an important role in the division of country. He was successful in convincing Mahatma Gandhi. So the religious sentimentalism is also another form of regionalism that we can find in India. Coming to next point, economic exploitation or economic factor. Economic exploitation or economic factor. The regionalism arises even on the basis of economic cause. economic interest. For instance, regionalism in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh and in Vidarbha of Maharashtra, Uttaranchala in old Uttar Pradesh, they are the examples for that economic interest, the creation of state on the basis of economic interest. That there is a possibility of uneven economic development of the respective regions. When there is an uneven development of different regions, quite natural, there is a demand for separate state. For example, in Karnataka, Hyderabad Karnataka region is underdeveloped. The people of this region are demanding for separate state. This is because of a backwardness of a particular area. That may be called as economic factor or economic reason. Any state, that should be proper development, balanced development of all regions. Otherwise, there may be a demand for separate state for a particular region of a particular state. That is another form of regionalism, or it may be a cause for regionalism. Coming to another point, tribal factor. As I have told you already, in India there are many tribals, particularly in northeastern part. The northeastern part of India, the tribal factor gave rise to regionalism. These regions are inhabited with tribes with its own language, culture and traditions. These tribes are separate from the main stream of the nation. Naturally, they fear for the preservation of their culture and traditions. Such tribes always demand for separateness. When it goes to extreme level, then naturally it may be considered as regionalism. This is another thing as far as regionalism is concerned. Coming to next point, democratic federal constitutionalism. There are many institutions in a democratic setup. For example, legislature, executive and judiciary, election commission, finance commission, controller and auditor general, public service commission, Lokapal, Lokayukta. There are many such democratic institutions. These institutions are normally misused by the government, whatever may be the political party, whether there may be Congress ruling or BJP ruling or whatever it may be. Normally these institutions are misused by the government. When such institutions are misused by the government, the states advocate for independence or autonomy of the particular state. Even central government shows partisan attitude as far as appointment of the governor is concerned, using of governor is concerned, deploying of CRP and BSF in the state, and transferring state subjects to concurrent list, allocation of grants to different states. Normally the central government shows partisan attitude or stepmother attitude. Such things naturally creates regionalism in the state government. So that is also another cause for regionalism, and this is one of the causes for conflict between central government and state government. This is another cause as far as regionalism is concerned, or another form of regionalism. All such things are the causes for the regionalism, and even they may be considered as different forms of regionalism. Such regionalism attitude should be curbed. Otherwise, it is a threat to the Indian democracy and even unity and integrity of the nation. So, taking this into consideration, that there are certain solutions advocated by many scholars. Main point we can highlight here is that checking of succession attitude, separatist attitude by forcible implementation of law to stop policy of minorities by the political parties for securing electoral gains. It should be stopped. It is better to establish cooperative federalism. There are such many solutions. If the solutions are strictly implemented, the solutions advocated by the scholars are strictly implemented, we can curb the feeling of regionalism, the attitude of regionalism. Then naturally we can find that pure federal form. So thus regionalism is a challenge to Indian democracy and unity and integrity of the nation. To overcome this regionalism, many that advices given by the scholars are to be adopted. Thank you.